Let's get back to our governor, Pat McCrory. Some of you may not be aware or may have forgotten about what a huge asshole he is. We'll try to remind you here because this I believe, will set the stage for all of that.
And, of course, he will not answer any questions.
No. This is the John Boy and Billy Big show that you're going to hear, and it is as stupid and brainless as it sounds.
Good morning. The Big Show's on the radio. Coming up, the easiest way for you to join the Winners and Current Events Quiz. Take C, win a Coca-Cola 600 prize pack. Come see NASCAR's most challenging test of man and machine, the Coca-Cola 600.
Right, does this guy sound like a redneck moron?
That's John Isley. He's the John Boy of the John. He's really the star of the John Boy and Billy show. He's a young guy. He's a guy from, not a young guy, used to be a young guy, grew up in Graham, North Carolina, and he does the biggest hee-haw shit in the world. And this is part of what's wrong with radio. They can't stop throwing money at this fucker. They can't stop throwing cash at this guy to work like 3 days a week.
Our buddy Pat McCrory is paying us a visit this morning. Good morning, Pat. Good to see you, buddy.
Great to be back in the headquarters of the John Boy and Billy Show.
All right, now, there. Pat McCrory, by the way, does not speak with a Southern accent much.
No.
So he's turning it up for this redneck moron IQ of 30 audience that this show appeals to.
And you can tell the stage, our buddy Pat McCrory, you can already tell it's going to be a blowjob. It's going to be like a
right here in North Carolina.
Good to have you here, buddy. We have been pulling for you, man. Golly.
It's been a fun couple of weeks, man.
Pat, I tell you what, I've known you, I don't know, 25 years? 30
years.
It's over 30 years.
30 years.
I did not know you were that tough. if a man, if you can take that beating that you've been getting.
Even Megyn Kelly. It's one thing to meet the press, which was like, I was the enemy. On Meet the Press, they interviewed George Clooney. And they treat him like royalty.
Oh, yeah.
Like he could smoke a pipe in between the questions and exhale the smoke and go, that's a good question, Todd.
George Clooney, number one, has a brain. Number two, he's not like effing people over and driving jobs out of any state. He has no political power, you asshole. They act like they're just laying down for George Clooney. George Clooney doesn't govern anything. God.
That's why these guys are on 80 stations
and we're
not.
Of course.
Because they're that good. Okay.
And then they get to me.
Yes.
I said 4 words. They interrupt me.
Megyn Kelly, I saw you on Fox News, said, thank you for having the courage to come. Okay, what you do? All right, let's talk about it right quick, just a primer what happened. All right, the mayor of Charlotte decided she was going to throw in something, just a Charlotte City ordinance.
A Charlotte City ordinance which would mandate to all private businesses that have interactions with the public, all private businesses and nonprofits would have to have a ordinance for their bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers.
That's not true.
Which would allow people to determine their own gender identity.
It doesn't matter what your real gender is.
No, it's what you think it is that hour or that day or that year.
What if you look like and sound like an asshole? Which bathroom do you use then? Because that's what McCrory needs to deal with.
I guess the real problem is that the now vast majority of citizens in North Carolina don't understand the danger and the peril that they are in from a law that was mandating non-discrimination.
That's right.
Of a group of people who are such a tiny, tiny number who've been probably in the bathroom with you and me a zillion times over the years, and we haven't even known it, nor would we have cared about it had we known it. And they've elevated this into some kind of child molestation undercover operation by men dressing up as women, and it's blown back in their face. Bad use of language. And he can't get out of it.
As a North Carolina native, this is infuriating to me that this asshole decides that this is where he needs to go on, and they're treating him like, hey, it's my long-lost buddy over there. You're getting beat up just a little bit. Things are a little rough. No. He's driving jobs out of the effing state because he's a dumbass.
Maybe this is going to change with or without us, but it's changing dramatically. And according to George Orwell, you don't get in the way of the thought police. Yeah. But the sad news is
God! Oh, are you just trying to be the biggest asshole ever? Seriously. He's quoting George Orwell, and I'm sure that's the first time that's ever happened on the John Boy and Billy Big Show. Oh, who is George Orwell? He used to drive for for Hendrick? I think he drove for him, didn't he?
We're not even talking about it. I mean, we're not even
Really?
I don't know.
They've just got the whole thing blown up. It's not even what it was.
Yeah, I just read the Wall Street Journal today where
What did that
Governor
mean?
McCrory, North Carolina passed an interim bill. People are losing their jobs because of it. Bruce Springsteen, who I love Bruce Springsteen. I love his music. But
he's going to lie right here, okay? Get ready to just catch him in a damn lie.
he canceled a concert in Greensboro. By the way, they only had 8,000 tickets sold, with all respect.
That's a lie, and those assholes laughing about it are pieces of shit. They sold 15,000 tickets. That's on record. They only had about 100 left before they canceled the show. But he sits there and tells that lie, and everybody, yep. Well, I only sold out this. Yep.
Well, see, I'm going to have to disagree because I understand Bruce Springsteen has canceled dozens of shows across the country because the guy...
He can't sell a ticket.
He's over. He's done. He's done.
Pearl Jam, I think Pearl Jam sold like 300 tickets. Maybe to that show.
Well, then, so this was a convenient excuse.
That's exactly right. They're using Cameron.
But Bruce doesn't mention that. They didn't quite get it.
Yeah, he leaves that out.
God, these guys. I wish why can't a bomb drop on these guys?
What you said is 1,000% correct. Obviously, Springsteen still sells out everywhere.
Of course he does.
But let's, for the sake of argument, let's just say that Bruce Springsteen really could only sell out half of the arena.
Okay,
right?
let's say that.
If he did that, does anyone ever who has slow ticket sales ever cancel a concert 2 days before the show? The answer is no. Usually, they have a good idea months ahead, and they will quietly cancel the show so that there's no bad publicity
and
for the artist.
You play the show anyway because 8,000 people, they can buy a shit ton of T-shirts and hats. They're gonna put money in your pocket anyway. You're not going to cancel the show.
But yes, even under the worst circumstance, you wouldn't cancel on 8,000 people 2 days before, except for an extraordinary reason like this.
But
this
Supreme
law.
Asshole gets to go on the John Boy and Billy show, and they don't mention that. Springsteen sucks.